It finally happened. After all that fandom. After first seeing her on the show, after buying an action figure, coverage of fans dressed as her at cons, pictures like these with the guitar and with the sword, and after seeing the movies she made, I finally met the actress herself, Danai Gurira. First off, I got into The Walking Dead when my mom and my sister were binging on season 1 and 2 of the show, just as season 3 was premiering, so right when we finished, I jumped into season 3, and this new woman joins the show, Michonne, and she blows away every scene she's in. I'm captivated. I'm loving the show so much more because of her. Went out and bought an action figure of her at WonderCon. Oh yeah, and while we're at it, my sister got me a big-size Daryl action figure for Christmas. Isn't that nice? Moving along, I read right into the comic version of her, but I mainly wanted to learn more about the actress. I looked up all the movies she made and watched them. The two that I enjoyed the most included Ghost Town, where she only makes a cameo. In the scene when Ricky Gervais opens the elevator and sees all the ghosts shouting at him for help, there she is right there. While this is her only scene, the movie is really funny and quite thoughtful. You should see it. The other movie I'm referring to is The Visitor, a strong, powerful drama in which she has a more prominent role. Through the years attending conferences and conventions, I met extras from the show. I met Travis Love, who played Shumpert in season 3. I met Greg Nicotero, the makeup artist. Executive producer David Alpert. Walked into Michael Rooker at a hotel and snagged this picture. Later that day, I went to the Skybound panel where I met the comic creator Robert Kirkman and co-star Norman Reedus. At this point, I tried to convince myself that I was satisfied. But deep down, I knew I was lying to myself. I thought I could get in the limited autograph sessions with the cast, but the line would cap before I knew where it was. I thought I could get in line for the panel the morning of. That didn't work either. I thought I could hang out behind the convention center, see if the cast would come by there. Nope, that didn't work. I realized the only way that I'm going to be able to see this panel is if I camp out for it as early as possible. But do I even want to do that? Is it that important to me? I also had to ask myself, how could I have all this fandom for The Walking Dead, particularly with her, and yet see everything except the Walking Dead panel at Comic-Con? At a past WonderCon, I met Chris Hardwick, and I shared my Michonne fandom with him. Could he have told her about me? When I got my pass for this year's Comic-Con, which just passed, I was barely thinking about it until I decided it's about time. Alright, this is all that's important to me. I'm going to do it. I'm going to camp out as early as possible so I can see this panel. I talked to staff members. I got all my questions answered about the line. I did some research and saw some videos on what camping out is like. When I saw the line pretty short, I jumped on in. Good amends with the people in front of me and behind me so we could each take turns getting food and using the restroom. Kept asking myself, is it worth it? Is it going to pay off? And it certainly paid off. The morning of, I was in the first section of attendees to be let inside Hall H for the big panel. I could see the jealousy in attendees who were walking by watching us enter, while the people in line were cheering in excitement to finally go in. I wanted to wear this t-shirt. Just let me unfold it for a second. Sweat of this t-shirt after using it for head support irritated my sunburn and mosquito bites, so I had to ditch it and instead wear this fresh Spider-Man t-shirt. When the Q&A portion started, I went up to the mic, I asked my question, said this is for Danai Gurira. She turns to look at me, I ask my question, and she answers with great enthusiasm, thanking me for the question. If you want to know what I asked her and what she answered, you should go see the panel video yourself. What I will say here is that it was a stressful process that was very rewarding. She is quite the person to meet. Not only that, knowing I left an impressive image of myself for her, I felt wonderful. And now that that's done, I've got new things to do right now. Perhaps get my own panel there someday. As we move forward, we must never give up.